Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG, and we're located on the west spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line. And the name of the commander of this vehicle is Papa of the Universe. Right, battle has started. Got a mark of excellence on the barrel there. And going backwards, he's making a hole in the wire, which actually does sort of give his position away. The M40 is doing the same, effectively saying we're here in this direction. You should try and avoid giving overt signs to the enemy where you're located by destroying various objects. Anyway, he's headed back into the trees, and I'm not sure that that's actually going to be any harm to him, that he's actually destroyed some property, because he's now aiming at the enemy. And I suspect things are going to go rather interestingly during this battle. Tiger 1 rounds out, and I think he hit the target. That shell explosion happened only a short while after another one shot was fired at him. I think the other shell came from the M40. There are two Artys on his team, so I think his shot actually hit the target. And he has picked up 274 hit points of stun assist since. Aiming for the Jackson. Round out. And he gets 131 hit points of splash there. Now he's repositioning after every shot, which is good, because that means it'll be more difficult to counter battery him. Now there was a tank there, but I think he's going to go for the Lurver. He's loaded, waiting for the Lurver to come into field shot, but no, he's decided to go for the T21. The T21 pulls away just after he fired, and he misses that one completely. Okay, IKV and an ONI. Now, look, firing in overhead view does actually sort of like get rid of the topography of the ground. You can't actually see where there are rises and dips and falls and valleys, but it's still a valid way of aiming at the enemy. And we've got an AMX M445 here. 21.9 seconds is the reload time for the Geschützwagen Panther, or this particular one. He's not using premium consumables. He's loaded. Works out where it's going to go and rounds out, and it pulls back just as the shell arrives. 342 hit points from a splash. Still good. Now the Geschützwagen Panther was actually a theoretical design. It was Krops made a model to suggest that this is what the SPG using the Panther chassis would look like, but the Wehrmacht didn't place an order for the Arty because the design people weren't willing to go ahead and spend the money, so instead they just kept building more Hummels, and of course the Gorilla, which they already had. In fact, they were still looking at other particular Artys, such as the GW Tiger, which was considered for use, but was actually a design model which was designed, and the prototype was designed but captured at the end of the war. And he got a near miss on the T21 for 138. Again, splash. Now, although the mods are saying it's okay and he's loaded, he is now. Okay, rounds out straight away on the T21, and this time he gets him. 223 hit points, and that's his first kill in the books. And that Lurver's making a mad dash to get to the T29 as a tier 8 premium, trying to kill a tier 7 American heavy. And it looks like the Lurver's coming off worse, so that, but the T29 has been killed. And Papa of the Universe fires a round in, gets 99 hit points of splash on the Lurver and stuns him. And the Oho tried to intervene, but it was just too late for the T29. Now it looks like the only support that the Lurver's got is a T44, just a little way back there. And Papa of the Universe fires a round in and gets a kill shot on that one. 128 hit points. That's his second kill. Now we can't see the Lurver, but I'm pretty sure he's still there. It's just he's probably repositioned by now. The Oho's pulled back, so nobody's actually spotting that lower level next to the water. Papa's loaded. He fires a round in, and we don't know if there was any hit from that. But he's reloading. He's got 2 rounds of premium ammo, 17 rounds of HE left. So Cripps actually made this model of the Panther chassis, but the Germans weren't really willing to go ahead and build it because they needed the Panther chassis for Panther tanks. They were so desperate for Panthers at that stage of the war, even though the Panther cost more to make than a standard Panzer IV, and so the GW Panther would have cost a lot more to build than the Hummel. So obviously you can see why they didn't build the GW Panther. Instead they used the Panther chassis for Panther tanks and instead built more Hummels. And that's a kill shot on the Oni for our 204. It was very well aimed, but the Oni was actually staying absolutely still to aim for the Object 416, and that was his big mistake because he gave Papa of the Universe a clean shot. And this T-3485 is trying to back away. He's trying to use the ridgeline. You can't really see it there, but he is using the ridgeline to try and shoot. And now he's been hit for 238. And I suspect that he won't last very long. Going for the leather. Round out. And a direct hit on the back on the engine deck. 249 hit points there. Almost loaded. Okay, it's loaded. Rounds out. And another hit. 149 hit points. That leather's down to just, I think it's 17% of his health now. He's not going to last very much longer, especially if he gets hit by another tank in the meanwhile. Okay, we're loaded. But the IKV's going over the edge just to have a quick look. And the leather's been killed. We got him. Now, there are only 5 enemy left. There's 6 on our team. We've got a 1 tank advantage. He's now got 4 kills, Papa of the Universe. He's firing for that corner. There was a Tiger 1 scene round there, but no result from that shot. We know there's a Jackson scene. A 5916. Oh, there's the 5916. It's in the gully. He's attacking a Panther, and it looks like the Panther's about to get wiped out. He's only got 22 hit points left. 1 shot. Oh, yes, we've lost the Panther. Unfortunately, we can't shoot at the 5916 because he's in defilade due to that cliff. And the IKV and OHO have moved forward. And there's the Tiger, and we can see one of the enemy Arty. Going for the Tiger. Dialing in. Rounds out. Should be a direct hit. And it's a kill shot. 228 hit points. That is his 5th kill. 1 more, he gets the Top Gun. And there's the Lorraine 15550. And he's hugging the rock face there. The Jackson's in the north. We can't get him. He's behind the rock. Oh, he just lost the OHO. He was killed by the enemy Arty, the M40. But we're going for the 15550. He was hugging the rock there. No, we didn't get a hit there. Now, he's looking closer to home because that 5916 was last seen in the gully, and he could be about to make an attack through G4 coming up into G5, or G3 rather I should say. So he's aiming for the dip, and nope, nothing there. He's reloading. He's only got 9 rounds of ammo left, and there are 4 enemies to kill. He will need to be careful about what he fires at from now on to ensure that he does get uses the ammunition. And there's the 5916. He suddenly appeared and he's attacking the Hellcat, but we're loaded. Rounds out, and that's a kill shot. 126 hit points, and that brings up the Top Gun. And the Hellcat's getting fired up by the enemy Arty, but he ticks affirmative because he was very happy that the 5916 was taken out. And that means now there's just 2 of them fighting 3 of the enemy. the Jackson and 2 Artys, the Lorraine 15550 and the M40 M43. Well, there's the Jackson. He's been seen and he's actually quite healthy. Unfortunately, 78 hit points, 78% of his hit points. He's got a lot less now. He lost 146 from that shot. It was a near miss. But if the Hellcat can keep him spotted, then Papa of the Universe can kill him off. Oh, he got a hit from the Hellcat. Now we're almost about to fire. It must have tracked him. Rounds out. And that's a kill shot. 57 hit points. And that makes it a lot easier. It's now evens on the score. 2 apiece left on each side. But we've got the advantage because we've got the Hellcat. And it's just 2 Artys. So the Hellcat's got the view range. And Papa of the Universe is going to make it his way forward to try and attack the enemy. We know where the Lorraine was last seen. He was last seen in grid square E0. And there's good reason to believe that he's probably still there. We don't know the location of the M40, M43 though. That's the problem. He could be much further north, possibly in grid square A0 or even in somewhere in the O-line. There's also a chance that now they know there's only 2 Arty left on the other side, that they will vacate their own cap area and try and make their way to our cap, in the theory that if we're going that way, they're going to go the opposite way. And in fact, that's true, because there's the Lorraine, and he's now passing our information to the M40, M43. So we can't stay still. We have to keep moving, because if we don't... And yes, we have just received a hit from the enemy M40, M43. He just stunned us with a near miss, and the Lorraine's trying to pop up and spot us. And there's the 6th sense going off. The M40 is still reloading, but if we can get in the lee of that rock face, he can't fire at us. Okay, now we're safe. We're Arty safe here. The Hellcat's getting into position. He's going around the other side. We're going to shotgun this Lorraine, and we do! 87 hit points. The Hellcat goes down into the dip. It's not required to do that, but he was going to try and get that Lorraine from behind. Now, we're going unspotted. Okay, the M40 just fired but missed. I heard an explosion. And now we're on the move again. And we're reloaded. Now he's got 3 rounds of standard ammo left, 2 rounds of premium. But he should be able to take care of that M40 with those 5 rounds. Now, you rarely get situations like this where you've got a Hellcat accompanying Arty. Normally at the end of some of these battles, it's Arty versus Arty, where everybody's been wiped out and the Arty's killed everyone, and it's then Arty taking on Arty face to face. Now, if the enemy Arty is somewhere in the back of the map, he's probably going to spot us before we spot him, because he's going to be in cover, and that means he'll probably get a free shot at us before we can see him. In fact, we'll probably see him the moment he fires, but that may be too late. But the Hellcat's going around the outside. He's coming from a different direction. That may distract the M40 and enable us to get a shot at him. And the GW is going to keep moving whilst he's in the cap, and that's a wise decision as well. There he is! There's the M40. Okay, we're going for the kill for shotgun. The M40 is aiming at the Hellcat. He fires at the Hellcat and wipes him out, but that means he's going to be in reload, and he's got a very long reload, which means we can just drive straight up to him and shoot him in the face, so we can make absolutely certain we don't miss. And that's it. That's how it's done. Shotgun to win the battle. Right in the face. No chance of surviving. Well done, Papa of the Universe. That's a Radley Walters Medal. And here's the end of battle results. It's an ace tanker for Papa of the Universe in a GW Panther. He also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 21. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. Radley Walters medal for getting at least 8 kills. In fact, he got 9. He got the Radleys with the Lorraine 15550 shotgun. A counter battery because he took out both the Lorraine and the M40, which means he killed both of the enemy Arty. And he got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle. And lastly, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And there are all the targets he hit. So let's have a look at team score. Well, naturally, he got the highest damage, 3,276 hit points. He was the last man left alive on the battlefield. He also managed to get the highest number of kills, 9, and the highest base XP, 1,319. The best the enemy could do in hit points was the M40, M43. He managed 2,523, and the Hellcat did fairly well with 2,484 hit points of damage and 2 kills. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, he fired 26 rounds during the battle. He actually had only 4 rounds left at the end, but he did manage to get 11 hits, 11 direct hits, 11 penetrations and 12 splash. Damage of 3,276 hit points, of which 3,059 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously the kill on the Lorraine 15550 and on the M40 were both at close range. He didn't receive any hits, but he did receive 1 hit as a result of splash damage from the M40, M43, who very closely got him. And if that is a tip for you, if you're in an Arty and you spot another enemy Arty and they are trying to hide, they are passing information back to their other friendly Arty. So whatever you do, don't stay still, because the other Arty will be targeting you and trying to take you out. You must keep moving, even if you have to shotgun on the move. You must keep moving, because if you stand still for any moment at all, the enemy will hit you and they will take you out the game. So he damaged 11 of the enemy. He killed 9 of them. He did damage assistance of 274 hit points and stun assistance of 214 hit points of 14 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 48,128 credits, and after ammunition resupply, and remember this was just standard ammo, he actually had a remaining 19,008 credits. He also received 1,979 base XP on a premium, so that's 1.5 times base, and he also had a personal missions payout of 1,979 as well, meaning he took away 3,958 experience points. But that was a pretty good display of how to kill 9 enemies, and I'm also interested in the fact that Papa of the Universe did keep relocating towards the start of the battle, but after he realized the enemy Arty wasn't really interested in attacking him, he actually stayed mostly still for the rest of the battle. And that's something I've actually noticed and experienced myself. You counter battery reposition every time, but then you stay still for the remainder if you know that the enemy is not focusing on you. If the enemy does start focusing on you, keep relocating, because then it's jolly helpful. But also I love the way that Papa in the Universe did his shotgun at the end. It was a textbook way of doing it. If the enemies fired their shotgun and missed, you just have to drive straight up to them and shoot them in the face. If the enemy shoots at somebody else and they're in reload, you know you've got plenty of time to just drive up to them, either shoot them in the face or shoot them inside. But don't get too close to the enemy when you fire, because remember that once the shell goes off on the enemy, you're going to get hit by the splash. If you are too close and you've got low hit points, it may affect you and it could kill you if you're on low hit points. So do remember that. So great replay there by Papa of the Universe. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.